Hey guys, this is Yo at the Hookin Hut, and I am coming from my front yard. So anyway, the reason why I'm outside today, and hopefully you can hear me as apart from the car going by there, is because I'm going to be talking woodsy stuff, woodsy knitting. But anyway, so where the heck have I been for the past couple weeks? When I've got it as a almost daily podcast, not an almost every couple weeks podcast. And what it is that a couple weeks ago, when I was at Kroger, my right eye got a bit funny and kept going black on me, and next thing I knew, my body hit the ground and I'd passed out. Not fully, but there was no feeling in the lower extremities, and down I went. So anyway, couple days later, I didn't feel good all week as a result of it. I mean, I just felt really weird. And a couple days later, I had a migraine and had a nasty earache by Motzi Shabbos, which is Saturday night. I had tonsillitis. And Sunday morning, I went to urgent care and had upper respiratory on top of that infection. And so I just got off the antibiotics yesterday. But anyway, so that's where I have been sick, and I just don't like to work when I'm sick. I really don't. I definitely can't do podcasts because I had a really nasty sore throat. Still sore, which is why I'm not talking very loud, and hopefully you can hear me. Because, to be honest, if I ordered something from someone and they said that they were sick and they were working on it, I wouldn't be very happy about it. Please, if I order something from you, never work on it when you're sick. That's just gross. So anyway, but I've been doing selfish knitting, and now for why we're outside. Ta-da! How to Knit in the Woods by Shannon Oki. And she's got 20 projects for the great outdoors. So I've been doing selfish knitting. Well, I've been in bed the whole time. In between naps, you knit. So, or cuddle the cat, either way. So anyways, something that I've been working on is I wanted something simple and to the point, and she has what's called the Woodsy washcloth, and it's made with, so that you can tuck, when you're camping, tuck a bar of soap into the washcloth and take a bath. Now, what she used for it was hemp wool 4 from Lana Knits Designs, hemp for knitting. It's 50% hemp, 50% wool. Well, I went on and I checked just for the fun of it. The price of that stuff is $12.50 a skein. No way. So I went through my stash, and what I had was Lion brand woolies, and I had a friend had given me this great big bag. I'll show it to you next week. This great big bag of yarn, and that she didn't want anymore. I mean, it's treasure. And in here was this, and it's Chestnut Heather 179, and I absolutely love it. I mean, this is just like the perfect woodsy color that you want with you. And there's the pocket. And of course, the neat thing about this is, let's say that you decided after you made it, well, maybe I don't want to have it be a washcloth, because I can flip the flap over and look at that. I mean, seriously, picture it with a neat little button right there, and not this hanging down, but a strap. Oh goodness, you got one cute little purse. Or you can make a wider strap going around this direction and make yourself a little bum bag with it. So anyways, and there's plenty of room for your little essentials. And so you could line it, not line it really, either way. But that's another option to do with the pattern. And then I made an I-cord for it so I could hang it up and make it easier to dry. Because I'd really rather have it dry hanging from an I-cord than to, pin this onto something. Because you always got that little spot where the pin was that will never dry in a million years. So anyway, so I made that, and then after that was done, remember I've had plenty of time off, I went for the campfire cushion, And the campfire cushion pattern is for a 15 by 10 pillow. And what did she use? Oh, for that one, she uses Blue Sky dyed cotton from Blue Sky. Alpaca's 100% organic cotton. Don't have organic cotton. But what I did have was Bernat's cotton tots. And I had it in the sweet green. And there it is. Oh, if you have never touched Bernat's cotton tots, oh my gosh, this stuff is so soft. I mean, it's hard to believe that you're working with cotton, because cotton doesn't always feel soft in the hands. And this is just super, super soft. And so what she has is she gave 2 options on it to, sew close both ends of it, and, have it stuffed with polyfill, or only close one end of it and have it the other end open, so you can stick clothes in it and use that for a pillow. What I'm going to do is put a zipper on the end. That way when I wash it, I don't have well, you know how sometimes you wash fiberfill too much and it just gets kind of icky? Well, this solves the problem. I can pull out the fiberfill and just wash the cover of it, and can be multiple use. And the other neat thing is, sorry, Mom's coming up with the mail. The other thing is once it's done, it'll fit nice and neat inside of the washcloth bag. So there you go. And the washcloth bag at that point, yes, does become an instant pillow. So anyway, always looking for more than one use for a project. I hate just single-use projects. The other thing that I've been working on, that's also outdoorsy, sort of, or at least the colors are, is my fall triangular shawl. And there you go. And it is super, super long. And it's like 36 inches from top to bottom, and then I think it's going to be like 72 or 74 inches wide. So anyways, really nice and cozy for wintertime when curled up in the chair watching Netflix. And so that's the other thing I've been working on. And so as far as projects goes, that's really it. For, selfish knitting stuff. Well, no, I've still got my Marley Bird garter stitch that I'm working on. Then, let's see, what else do I have? Okay, so, orders that I'm behind on. If you've ordered from me and I still haven't gotten to you yet, I'm sorry, but I just don't work when I'm sick, and I'm sure you appreciate that. But I'm sorry if you had a deadline even that you needed something by. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to bring up is, speaking of patterns, this is Patterns and Lessons for Newbies. An 8-cup teapot cozy. I never thought in a million years anyone was ever going to order it again. And I didn't even, the thing is, it hasn't been a focus in my store, and I haven't really thought about the fact that it was still in my shop and someone ordered it. Problem was, I didn't know what the pattern was. I lost the pattern. I stupidly, when I wrote the pattern, I didn't write it in spreadsheet form. I just scribbled it down in the notebook. Dumb idea, because you never know where those notebooks are going to end up at, even if you think you've put them in the right place. It's like saying, hey, I'll remember what I did in that stitch, or I'll remember what hook size I used. I didn't remember anything, because it's been about a year, maybe a little over a year, since I made it. So anyway, ended up having to look at the picture. I had to look at the picture and just fudge this thing. It's like, well, online, I had written down what the collars were, and I was like, well, good, at least I know the collars. And I knew the size, because I'd included the size. It's like, well, good, I know that now. So then I got a hold of the person I'd originally made it for, and I asked her, I said, could you possibly measure between point A and point B and let me know what that was? Well, she did, but it was pointless, because I have no clue what hook I used. I don't know. And so my measurement was totally off. By the time I got to that point, it was like, there's no way that could possibly be right. So I had to change the whole thing. But I wrote it up this time in a spreadsheet form and saved it because, I don't want to lose it again. But I also have no intentions of ever making that pattern again either. And I took it out of the store. And it's like, oh, but you could possibly get a sale since somebody else bought it. No. It's not that it's hard, it's just I don't like making things like that. Not because I don't like making them, but if I had an 8-cup teapot cozy, or teapot, it would be one thing. But when you don't have the item itself, or one similar to it, it's really hard. Because I like to measure, when I'm working on something, I like to, measure up against it all the time. Make sure I've got the measurement right, and this right, and that right. Just to get a feel for where I'm at, and when I can start doing decreases and stuff to, narrow it up towards the top. And this thing's practically a square because I don't have the measurements of the pot or anything. So hopefully they like it. If they don't, they can send it back, and I'll give them their money back for it and pay the shipping, on it as well. But in both ways. But it's just really out there. But anyway, it's a simple pattern to make. It's just not a wise idea to make something, I don't think, unless you have something similar that you can measure up against. Because the original pattern was made for a Brown Betty teapot. And, of course, those are shaped differently. All teapots are shaped different to a degree. And so that can change the way that it's going to fit over top of the object. So anyway, if you're like me and you would really rather have the item with you, to be able to make it for or similar to it that you can test over top of, don't do it. Just don't do it. And so that's my tip. I have 2 tips. One tip, always record your patterns in a spreadsheet format and save them to your computer, save them to a little disk on the side, whatever. And that way you won't lose it. And always in the same file. And then the second one is go through your shop and look for things that you really didn't enjoy making, or may have lost the pattern to if you've designed your pattern, and take them out of your shop. And that'll save any frustration later. So that's my fellow newbie thoughts on it. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, please put them down in the comments below. The other thing is that I've been thinking about is, I can't remember. It just left my mind. I can't believe it did. I know what it was. The cat appeared in the window. I'm blaming Lily, the cat. My bedroom window is right there. And she popped up and it was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? She's the most destructive cat there is. I mean, she just ripped a hole in the screen door again. That's twice, and escaped at night. I lock them on my porch at night, and I'm slowly getting pet-proof screen put up, but that stuff's expensive. But anyway, I lock them on at night to keep the coyote from eating them, and so far so good. I've still got my 6 that's left. So I started August with 16 cats, and I have 6. One was killed by a copperhead, and then the others were, picked off by the coyote. But anyway, so that's why I just lost my train of thought. Yay me! That spared you from having to listen anymore. But anyway, so that's it for me for this week. And I will see you guys next week. Hopefully I won't be sick. Oh. Coming up, starting October, the very beginning of October, is the Jewish month of Tishrei. And Tishrei is just chock-a-block full of holidays. I mean, just one right after the other, and there's Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, which lasts 8 days, and Simchat Torah, and Shmini Atzeret, and by the time we're finished with all our Yom Tovs and how long they last and everything, my shop will only be open for 18 days total out of the month. Out of 31 days, it'll be open for 18. And then possibly even shorter than that. I may be wrong. It may be fewer days than that, as I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so it's not going to be open long, which means I also won't be posting videos much, and I won't be doing blog posts much because of too many holidays interfering with it. But anyway, so that's it. And I will see you guys later, and happy stitching.